What's up? What's up? What's up? I know this is probably a surprise because you did not expect me to be live. I know it's a surprise because you didn't expect me to be live. But if you can hear me, let me see you put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, let me see you put a 1 in the chat. I am figuring out this whole thing. But if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Oh, nobody's even here. I hope you can hear me. I'm just trying to test this new setup. I am testing my new setup. If you guys can hear me, let me know, let me know, let me know. What's up? What's up? What's up, good people? What's up, good people? How you doing this evening? How is everyone doing this evening? Hold on. All right. Okay. So, I know it's been a long time, and I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. Step two. Um, I just wanted to come on here this evening, and I'm sorry, I'm really in test mode, and so I'm looking at the platforms that I'm streaming live on. I am live on Twitch. I am live on not Instagram, on Facebook, and I am live on the YouTube. I'm live on Facebook, I'm live on YouTube, and I am live on Twitch. Now I'm trying to, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Okay. I think that is. There we go. All right. I think I'm good to go. Um. So I'm not sure. I haven't gone live in such a long time that I don't really know. Listen, I used to be the tech guy, and now I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I'm figuring out all these things as I go. This is what happens when you take a break And this is what happens when you decide that you don't want to involve yourself with technology anymore. Um, you have to now figure things out in real time. And so I am figuring things out in real time. But I am so. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I feel so far behind. Wow. I feel so far behind. But if you can hear me, okay, there's somebody here. If you can hear me, just put a one in the chat. Ah, my gosh. Hey, Shy, what's going on, Shy? What's going on? Okay, so Cheyenne is here. Okay, so um, I must be okay. And so, oh man, I'm on Twitch too. So, what is going on, everyone? Um, my name is Ricardo Luizon, and I'm figuring out my life. I am figuring out what's going on, Shy. I'm figuring out how to reintegrate myself into the online world via live. And right now, I'm live on Facebook, I'm live on Twitch, I'm live on YouTube, I think. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out my life. I'm doing this. My friends are like, you need to get back on live. You need to get back on, and I'm like, I don't want to. But such is life, and I feel like I have something to say, and a part of the reason why I haven't been on social media in such a long time. Well, I've been on social media, but I haven't gone live, is because I get annoyed very easily, and I'm like, I'm tired of first of all, I'm busy. I've been really busy with work. And then, secondly, because I'm busy and if I'm on set and things like that, I don't have the capacity to be live like while I'm working. And when I'm not working, I want to be home sleeping or working on other things. And so, um, anyway, so to kind of give some context, and so that's why I haven't been live. I've been really busy, and then I don't really like being on live like that. Everyone has something to say these days, and I'd rather just let the other people, say what they need to say, and I'll listen. And sometimes I don't listen, But this is my first step back into the social media live world, and I'm excited because everything is not going perfect. Everything in life is not perfect at this point. Just to kind of give you an update about where I am, everything in my life is not perfect. I mean, when is anything in life ever perfect? But I've been going through so many transitions in life. I've been going through so many different seasons, and when you look at seasons of life, not necessarily winter, spring, summer, and fall, but we enter seasons of life as we're changing. We enter seasons of life by revelation, by understanding, by where we are, what stage or what phase of life we're in. And so you can have someone going through a winter season and they could be sitting next to someone that's going through a summer season, right? And so, but that is individual. And so I've been going through a lot of different things in life. And the interesting part is that, I work in film and television, and that is my career, right? My career is in film and television, um, and I've been in film and television for quite some time now, and fashion even longer than that. And it has been a really rough season. It has been a rough season ever since the pandemic hit. And we shut down for that time, and then after the pandemic, we had the strike, and it's been really rough in my industry and my field. And you know, the interesting part about that is that I, in particular, um, I was commissioned to build something, right? And I was commissioned by God to build something. He's given me gifts, and He's given us all gifts, talents, skills, and abilities. He's given us what I like to call tags, a phrase that I've coined is tags. And He's given us our tags to help us navigate through life. He's given us our talents, abilities, giftings, and skills to represent the value that we have to offer the world. And so, working in film and television, we work, 12 to 18 hours a day, right? Usually 12-hour minimums, 12 to 18-hour days. And so, outside of that, I don't really have a lot of time to do anything else. And I have been so dissatisfied because I'm a builder, because I'm a creative. I've been in a place where I've been so dissatisfied with um, where I've been. And it's not because I don't love my career, because I love my career. I love the field. I love the industry that I'm in. I love what I'm able to do. What's going on, Joy? What's going on, Joy? So I love my field. I love my industry. I love the place where God has called me. What's going on, Billy? And it has just been a rough season because of the pandemic, because of the strike, and then also because of all the things that are happening in the world, the tariffs and the shifting in policies and tax breaks and things. So there's productions are going overseas, and so it's just been a rough, rough season. And the interesting thing about this rough season for me is that I was already instructed years ago that I should have been building something. I had a skincare line, I had a clothing brand, I had a budding boutique agency where I was doing navigation and clarity sessions. But I got too busy with life. I got too busy with my industry, with my field, with my career, and I stopped building the thing that God had commissioned me to build. What's going on, Cree? What's going on? What's going on? And so I stopped building the thing that God had commissioned me to build. And so even as the industry and the system that I've been called to has, um, things have happened, things have changed, things have shifted. I was supposed to keep building. I was supposed to keep building, like Joy says, preach and build. I was supposed to be preaching and building. I was supposed to be working and building, and I made a decision, not for anything, but I decided to just stop building and continue and move forward in my career. And you know what happened? Now the industry is shifting, the industry is changing, the industry is literally crumbling before our eyes. And what do I have to lean on? Because the thing that I should have been building, I stopped building. And so I'm saying this to say now I'm in a position in my life where it's like I have to question so many things because the pandemic wiped out all of my savings and I made really good money. All of my savings gone. I have no cushion. All right. Then the strike came and did a double whammy. Bam. Now you really don't have anything to lean on and you accrued so much debt. And so thank God for grace and favor that, you know, some of my debt was wiped out. I had a $40,000 debt that was wiped out in one conversation. And I'm like, thank you, Lord, and I'm grateful for that. But there was something that I started to build that I stopped building, that I put on the back burner. And that thing should have never been on the back burner. It should have always been a priority. So now I am in a place, and I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea of where I am. People see me, people don't see me. People assume that I'm busy all the time, that I'm always working. And yes, I am always working on something, whether it is physically or in my head, right? But I'm always working on something. But I'm just giving you guys an update about where I am currently in my life. And so I should have kept building. I stopped building. I stopped building the thing that I knew I should have been building. And what that did is now, because I'm not building that thing, there are people that I was called to. There are places that I was called to go. There was impact that was supposed to ricochet from my life to specific people that because I stopped building, now I'm not impacting people like I was supposed to. I'm dissatisfied because a part of my life, a part of my calling, a part of my my purpose right? Because purpose is not really for us. Purpose is for others. It's really what we do for others, why we're here, and what we're doing for other people. And so my purpose, began to like, even though I was still on set and I was still operating in my tags, and I still had a sense of purpose, but it wasn't that only, and I made it about that only. And so I had to suffer a lot, and I'm still in a season of suffering where I'm navigating difficulty, I'm navigating challenges, I'm navigating some terrain, and this terrain is really rough terrain. But I'm grateful that I've been prepared. And so I'm saying all this, I'm saying this for multiple reasons, because I know I'm not the only person who is battling challenges. I'm not the only person who is going through a rough season. I know I'm not the only person who is navigating through difficulty, who is trying to figure out life, because what's happening right now is that the world is changing. The culture of the world used to change every 3 to 5 years traditionally. Now the culture of the world is changing every 1 to 3 years. And so what does that mean? It means that systems are changing. It means that policies are changing. It means that literally the culture, the language is changing. It means that the face of what we've known, the world that we were born into, the world that we experienced 3 to 5 years ago doesn't exist anymore. It's almost like you have pre 9/11 and then post 9/11. And then so you have pre 9/11, post 9/11, and now you have post pandemic, right? Post 9/11 and pre pandemic is the same time. And so the pandemic, it has caused the world to change. It has caused systems to change. I remember before 9/11, you can go through the airport security without taking off your shoes. There were things that we were able to do, but once 9/11 hit, they had to change the culture so we could be more so we can focus on safety. They had to change the culture because now we were dealing with things, threats from other places, and so the culture had to change. So now, post pandemic, the world is different. The culture of the world is changing. And so people and so what's happening is that not only is the culture of the world changing, but now we are adjusting, right? We're adjusting to what's happening in the world. A lot of people are losing jobs. You know why? Because of the pandemic, technology has advanced. How you doing, Pastor Ray? Technology has advanced the world so far to the point where now there are jobs that are going to be obsolete in the next 3 to 5 years that we've always known. Think about it from this perspective. It's almost like when we were born and growing up, there were tapes. I remember we used to use tapes and we would have cassette players. Then once we got introduced to CD, compact discs, tapes, they went out the window. And so then we went to CDs, and now CDs, we went from CDs to one little thing that was created called the iPod. And the iPod revolutionized the way that we listen to music. And so now tapes and CDs are out the window. Everything is digital. And so you see three different transitions, three different shifts, how the world has changed. And so now I'm using that as an example. So when we use CDs, I remember that the CD, you would get the CD from a store. You would get the CD from a store, and the CD would have a case. And in the CD, you would have the booklet, and it would have the artwork. It would have the words to the song, all of the credits in the CD. Now that doesn't exist. The powerful thing about that is that there was someone that designed that CD cover. There was someone that made that CD case. There was someone that made that CD. There was someone that actually crafted the actual disc. And because of the iPhone, that has made all those things obsolete. So the person who designed the cover for that CD case doesn't have a job. The person that designed the actual the case, the plastic case for the CD, and the actual hard disk, those jobs don't exist anymore. And so this is the same shift that we're going through right now. Technology is advancing the world to a point where jobs are becoming obsolete, where some of our roles are becoming obsolete, where some of the places that we're going are shutting down. They're closing Macy's. You know why? Because of stores like Amazon, where you don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to go to Macy's to shop. You don't have to. I remember when Radio Shack. There probably is still Radio Shack. Sam Goody. All of these different places, and now those places are obsolete. I remember when there was Blockbuster Video, when we used the actual VHS. And Blockbuster, the interesting thing about Blockbuster is that they had the opportunity to shift with the culture. Blockbuster could have been Netflix, but Blockbuster locked itself into operating in one way. And so, because Blockbuster refused to shift their business model from physical tapes into digital, Netflix came and blew them out the water. Netflix came and blew them out the water. So this is what I mean when I say the culture of the world is changing. The world that we were born into doesn't exist anymore, and so the culture of the world is changing. How we live is changing. Now there's things like ChatGPT that we barely even need Google to answer our questions. We can ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is going to give us viable answers. And so the world is changing. The world is changing. The world is advancing. And so me in particular, so my industry is changing. The film and television world is changing because, they're moving into an era where they may not always need locations because they can use the digital and the green screen backgrounds. They may not always need wardrobe, hair, and makeup because if the actors are now AI, then they don't need physical clothing. And so the world is changing, the world is shifting. There's some people that are going to school for things that won't even be relevant in the next 3 to 5 years. Some people are going to school for jobs that they won't be jobs for. And so it takes us to move and to shift with the world, how the world is moving, how the world is shifting. It takes us to put on our prophetic eyes. It takes us to have those long range sensors to be able to shift. And now I know me personally, I always have a challenge with pivoting quick. I'm not a quick pivoter. It's not easy for me to pivot. It has been a challenge for me to pivot quick because I get comfortable, I get relaxed. It's easy for me to just be like, wow, I like it here. This is where I want to live. This is what I want to do. But that's not a good mentality to have if the world is changing. Not every 3 to 5 years anymore. Now every 1 to 3 years, the culture of the world is changing. And so there were things that I should have been building. There were things that would have been able to take care of me in this time that I'm in that I stopped building. I stopped planting the seeds that were inside of me to plant. I stopped giving the seeds that were inside of me that I was supposed to be given. And because I stopped, now I can't reap the benefit. Now I can't eat the fruit because I stopped planting. I stopped sowing. I stopped building. But the beauty is, it's never too late. We all have gifts, talents, skills, and abilities. We all have powerful abilities that are in seed form on the inside of us. And I know somebody might be going through a transition. I know someone might be worrying about their job. I know even in the social system, things are changing. Laws are changing. Things that were available for people aren't going to be available, or we're not sure if they're still going to be available. Certain jobs working in, a lot of retail jobs are being cut because they're closing stores. And the world is just different. And for a lot of us, it's hard to embrace that because we're accustomed to living how we live. We're accustomed to operating how we operate. We're accustomed to doing things the way that we're accustomed to doing things. But if we get stuck in those ways, and if we aren't able to pivot, if we aren't able to stay tapped into what's happening in culture, if we're not able to stay tapped in to where the world is going and where things are moving, we will be left behind. We will struggle constantly. We will struggle. We will fight. And forget it, if you're a believer, that's a whole nother thing, because I believe that I have the Spirit that knows all things on the inside of me, and He will give me the information and the things that I need in order to be successful. And so he did, but I stopped building. 5 years ago, he had me on a course. And at some point, I decided, all right, well, this is not the course for me anymore. I'm making six figures. I'll be good. And now he's like, all right, so where are those figures? Because the only figure that has changed is the one that is attached to your skin. That's the only figure that has changed. That's the only figure that you're left with. And so now, because the world is changing, because and we're moving, technology is moving the world forward in such a quick way. It's time for us to tap into our ingenuity. It's time for us to, there's so many, though jobs are, we're losing jobs, though things are closing, they're closing. Listen, I live in Philadelphia, the University of the Arts. I'm like, how they close a whole entire institution? Things are closing, things are shutting down. Why? People are learning online. They're not going to school as much as they used to. This new generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're not enrolling in college, and Gen Alpha is not college age yet. But I can predict that because of where the world is, because of what the requirement, the learning requirements in order to be a person that can contribute to the economy, right? The learning is different. We need new skills. They're learning new skills. The math that they learn today is not the math that I learned when I was in school. The information that they're getting, the learning today is very different than the time when I was growing up. And so, institutions are closing down. And so what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? Are we just going to sit and complain? And when I say what are we going to do, I'm really talking about what am I going to do? Because as my industry is changing, as my industry is shifting, what stance am I going to take? And inside of us, we have seeds of potential. Inside of each and every one of us, we are born with seeds of potential. And so what are we going to do with those seeds of potential? How are we going to harness the power of those seeds of potential? The scripture says in Genesis, God said to mankind, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and have dominion. Right? Be fruitful, multiply, subdue, replenish, and have dominion. And so when he says be fruitful, that is proving. He didn't say be seedful, because we are seedful. He said be fruitful, which is an indicator that there is a seed on the inside. So he's given us a command to bear fruit. And when we bear that fruit, bearing fruit comes in the form of a gift, of a talent, of an ability, of a skill. That's us bearing fruit. It's producing, augmenting from within, producing something from within. And it shows up in the form of a gift, of a talent, of a skill, of an ability. But it doesn't get stuck there. He said, don't only be talented, don't only be gifted, don't only be, create a product, don't only write a song. Hey, Danny. He said, but now, after you bear fruit, now you have to begin to multiply that fruit. What is that? What does multiply mean? Multiply means to now duplicate it, enterprise it. There's enterprising potential. I did a live, not a live, but I did a message, not even a message. I did a video, a reel this morning, because as soon as I opened the app, I was up walking at like 5:45 in the morning or 4:45 in the morning. I went out to do my walk, my daily walk, and I opened up Instagram around 6, and I started to see a lot of my friends, a lot of people, my coworkers, people that I love, people that I work with. I started to see them winning. One girl was featured in Essence. Another one posted a video where she was doing hair for Idris, Damson Idris. Another person, is doing a talk for the TV show that they're doing. And I'm like, this is amazing, because the state of our industry, right? People are working. Some people still have jobs, some people still are working, and I'm like, I'm proud of them. I'm celebrating their wins. But even when we're in a place where we're not winning, where it seems like we're losing, we're not so much losing. It's just now this is the season that we're in. I am in a season where there may not be as many opportunities that are finding me, right? And so I can do one of two things. I can sit and wait, or I can create opportunities. I can take that gift and I can start to now multiply it. I can start to enterprise it, right? Because you can have a creative gift. And here's the other thing is that everybody is not called to be an entrepreneur. Some people need to work for people. Some people just need to be an employee of a business. All right? Some people just need to be an employee, and there's nothing wrong with being an employee. Right? We all, because again, I have been an employee most of my adult life, but being a good employee is teaching me how to be a good boss. Being a good employee is teaching me how to handle other employees in the right way. The things that I like and the things that I don't like, it is training me. And I'm grateful for the work and the work experience that I have in the world. I'm grateful for the work and the work experience that I've been able to accumulate, education and experience the past 29 years. Because I'm able to take that education, take that experience, and build something from it, build something on it. And so we're fruitful, right? We're bearing fruit, we multiply, we're enterprising. What does that mean? It means that the seed that is within me, that seed is now producing fruit. And let's say an apple, right? That fruit, it comes out in the form of an apple. It could be a gift, a talent, a skill, an ability, but that fruit that I'm bearing comes out in the form of the apple. Now, if I look at the apple and say all I have is an apple, then I'm doing myself a disservice, because within that fruit there are more seeds. So I can eat that apple and that seed and have nothing, or I can cut that apple open, extract those seeds and plant those seeds. Then I can take that apple and I can cut it up and sell apple slices. I can take that apple and press it and make apple juice and sell it. I can take that apple and fry it and make apple chips. I can bake it and make apple pie. I can put it through a process and make apple cider vinegar. I can actually just take the apples and sell apples, wholesale apples. This is what I mean by the enterprising potential of the seed that God has given you. It is not meant to just be what it is. It is not meant to stay in seed form. Multiply is about enterprising. Multiply is about taking it a step further. Multiply is about multiplying, making multiple, enterprising. It's about enterprising the seed. Today we live in the time where it is the most opportune time for entrepreneurs. Why? Because the global market is at hand. The global market literally lives in our hand, in our phone. We can do business from where we are with anyone else in the entire world. And so this is the opportune time for entrepreneurs. This is the opportune time for people who have ideas to throw an idea out to the market and see if it sticks. Because you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. Right now I'm in a studio, but I'm in a studio in my home. I don't have to go to Netflix's studio. I don't have to go to rent a studio to be able to produce content. And so this is a part of multiplying. This is a part of taking your creative gift and doing something with your creative gift. Taking your speaking gift and doing more with your speaking gift. Taking the abilities, your writing abilities, and some of us, we write songs or we write short stories, and it's like, okay, so now take that and now write a book. Multiply that seed. If you're an orator and you speak and you can speak well, use that gift as an encouraging. Use that gift to encourage, or use that gift to actually write. And don't only write a book, do an audio book. Don't only do an audio book, do a journal that goes along with the book. It's like enterprise. Do it, make it a series. Enterprise, be fruitful and multiply. And so this is a formula that has been made available to us as believers. This is a formula that has been made available to us so we don't get stuck where we are. So we don't get stuck in the rut. We don't get stuck in the shifting. We don't get stuck in the world as it changes. Because the culture of the world is changing every 1 to 3 years now, which means it's moving really fast. And we have to learn how to pivot. Some of the technology stuff, we don't want to be bothered. We don't want to have to deal with it. And it's like, okay, you don't have to now, but eventually you're going to have to. I remember when cable was optional. Now it's basically mandatory. Who doesn't have it? Some things are optional at first and then they're mandatory. As much as you want to hold on to the iPhone 1, it's not mandatory that you change it. It's not mandatory that you get the new iPhone. You can hold on to it as long as you want. But you know what? That phone does not have the capacity for 5G, for 4G, for 5G. It doesn't have the capacity for certain apps, because these things operate at a certain level. So that phone doesn't have the capacity. The iPhone 1 doesn't have the capacity that the iPhone 15 does. And so you're not going to be able to make calls because your calls are going to drop. They're updating the towers. You're not going to be able to FaceTime because iPhone 1, I don't even think iPhone 1 had FaceTime capability. You're not going to be able to get online. You're not going to, there's so many things that you won't be able to do because that phone does not have the capacity. And so we have to learn how to pivot. We have to learn how to adjust. We have to learn how to dig deeper and extract new skills. Sorry guys, I have something going on with my video. Give me one moment. Okay, we're back. I think. Can you hear me? I know you can. Yeah, you can probably hear me, but you can't see me. Okay, there's a little delay, but we're back. I'm gonna wait. There we go. Don't mind my big arm in the don't mind my big arm. Listen, this is a prime example. This is a prime example. Technology has moved so far ahead. I'm still using technology from 5 years ago. I'm still using the camera and the cords from 5 years ago. So these things now are shutting down mid-sentence. These things are shutting down mid-broadcast because what? I have to update and I have to upgrade my software. I have to upgrade my technology in order to be able to go live. I haven't gone live in so long that my technology doesn't even have the capacity to do a continuous live. So I have to now upgrade if I want to be effective in this time. So as much as we're losing jobs, as much as stores are closing down, there are new opportunities that are arising. There are new industries, what they're called invisible industries, which are industries that were invisible until the time of necessity. So invisible industries are arising, which means we have to shift now our skill sets and see how our skill sets are useful in the coming times. How can we contribute to industry now? Because we won't be able to contribute the way that we used to contribute. So now, what do I need to learn? What do I need to understand about technology? What do I need to understand about culture? What do I need to understand about the social system? What do I need to understand about medicine? What do I need to understand about education? Because even education is different. Online education, YouTube University, ChatGPT education. Literally, growing up as a kid, adults had the answers, and we believed everything that they said, and we took it as law. Now, kids are not impressed. Most kids are not impressed with adults because they can ask ChatGPT and be like, "Oh, you that wasn't right." That information you gave me wasn't right. I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me something else. And it's like, so the way that we're learning is changing. The way that we learn has shifted. And so what are we going to do? Because we can sit and complain, or we can actually do something about it. We can actually begin to tap into the ingenuity that God put on the inside. We can begin to tap the gift, the talents, the skills, and the ability that live on the inside. Some of us need to learn new skills because our skills are no longer relevant. Our skills are no longer useful in the way that it was useful because they're developing new ways, they're making things easier. And so it's going to take us to make some adjustments. It's going to take us to make some pivots. It's going to take us, and again, when I say us, I'm talking to me. I'm having to adjust. I'm having to pivot. I'm here on live. I hate going live. I don't like going live because if I go live, I'm not just going to have my phone hold. I work in production. I'm always behind the camera. So if I'm going to be in front of the camera, I'm going to represent my production ability and production value. So I got to give you production value. So I got to have my setup. I got to have my lights. That is me. Everyone doesn't need that. I'm not everyone. If I'm going to put out content, it's going to be quality content. And I know that that is not what has hindered me. It is my own self that has hindered me. But if I'm going to put out quality content, I got to have my setup. I was supposed to go live at 9 o'clock, and I haven't touched my equipment in years. So I had to find cords. I had to figure out where things went. And thank God, once I got it, I got it. But I still have some things that I have to figure out. But I'm saying all of that to say we have to learn how to pivot. We have to learn how to use our ingenuity. Because everything that we need is on the inside of us. And when there is no table, your gift will still make room. But we have to tap into that gift. And sometimes the room is not so much room at that table. Sometimes the room that the gift is making for you is not at someone else's table. That gift is actually clearing space. Making room is not always sitting at someone's table. Sometimes that gift making room is that it's literally giving you capacity. That gift is expanding your capacity. It is the catalyst for you to expand your capacity. It is literally clear. That gift, sometimes it will clear things out of your life. Your gift will make room for you. It'll give you capacity. But we have to tap into the gift that God has given us. We have to tap into that talent, that ability, that skill that God put on the inside. And we got to activate it, and we got to work those things. And so I had really no real strategy about tonight. I just wanted to come on and say a few words and encourage someone. We're all going through. We all have something happening. So don't think that you're alone. Don't think that you're going through what you're going through by yourself. There are other people that are going through. You're not the only one struggling financially. You're not the only one that is trying to figure out their life. Literally, the world is trying to figure out their life. Everybody is trying to figure out their life. Everybody is trying to figure out their next steps. Everybody is trying to figure out what is happening because we are all a part of a world that is changing. And it is affecting all of us. It is affecting everyone. And so you're not alone. Not only you not being alone isn't only about other people going through as well, but you not being alone is also God being there with you. God is still with us. He doesn't leave us when things get hard. God doesn't leave us when things get challenging. He doesn't leave us when things get thick. I remember Apostle Boyd, my pastor, my former pastor, God bless and rest his soul. He used to say, when people say, I'll be there with you through thick and thin, but when it gets thick, they thin out on you. God doesn't thin out on us. The Bible says that there's no shadow of turning with him. He's not shady. He's not going to show you shade. He's not going to show you his hind parts. He's not going to turn away from you. He's there. God is in us. Hey Marcy, how you doing? How you doing? He's in it with us. He's the fourth man in the fire. He was in the fire with Daniel, the three Hebrew boys. And so he's in it with us. So you are not alone. You have an active participant, someone that is there with you. And all he's saying is like, all right, are we doing this together? Because listen, if I would have done life with him, if I would have followed his instruction, I would not be in the position that I'm in today. Things look a lot better than they are. We know how to present ourselves. We know how to put our best foot forward. We know how to do it for the gram. But I've come out of one of the darkest seasons of my life. I found myself in a mental place, in an emotional place that I've never been in my life before. And I'm grateful for the people in my community. I'm grateful for my friends and my family and those that have been walking with me through this last season, because I would not have made it if it wasn't for those people, those calls, those texts, those visits, people talking me off of the ledge, proverbial ledge, people praying for me, not only calling me and praying for me, but holding me in prayer even when I didn't know it. People sowing into my life, people showing me grace and favor. I've come through a dark season, but even in that, God has still been kind. God has still been faithful. And so I don't know what people believe, and quite frankly, it is none of my business. But as for me, as for my experiences, God has brought me through so many things. And I thank Jesus, my God, because I would have not made it if he didn't sit with me in my darkness. If he didn't sit with me in those moments where I was just like, I need a mind regulator. I need my mind to be regulated because it is all over the place. I need my heart to be fixed because I don't want to become bitter at an industry that I've given so much to, that now it seems like it's crumbling. And so you're not alone. I didn't have a real agenda about tonight. I just wanted to go live for going live's sake, to get it done and get it over with, so I can say that I did it. Because I don't like going live. But I know that there is something that I have to contribute to the world of talking heads. I know there's something that I have to contribute, and there are people who are called to my voice, and there are people who I'm called to, and people who are called to me. I guess I just said the same thing in two different ways. There's something that I have to give to people, and there are people that have something to give to me. And so this is my commitment. So I'm live, and you guys are going to see me more often. I have a new series that I'm going to be releasing on Thursday. I'm so excited. It's a series that I started and I didn't stop. Sorry, it's a series that I started and I stopped. I didn't finish. And so when I was thinking about, man, I have so much content, I have so much in my arsenal, I'm like, where do I start? And I'm like, how about I start where I didn't finish? And so there's a series called Value, where I'm talking about what is value, helping you understand what your value is, and taking you through that course and that journey. So as we navigate the world, we're able to add value to people, places, and things everywhere that we go. We all, not only are we valuable, but we have value. And there's a difference between value and worth, and I'll explain it in the series. But I'm here to help you understand your value. I'm here to help you realize how valuable you are, how valuable you are in the hands of God, how valuable you are to the people, places, and things that you're called to, how valuable you are to your community, how valuable you are to your family, how valuable you are on your job. And it goes beyond just the work that you do. It's the person you are as you do the work. Everyone has value to add. Not everyone can be a president. Well, anyone can be a president at this point because you get what I'm saying. Not everyone can be a rocket science. Not everyone can be a rocket scientist. Not everyone can be a garbage collector. Not everyone can be a surgeon, a brain surgeon. But no matter who you are, and no matter where you are, you have something to give. As much as you may feel like you're not where you need to be, you're not where you're supposed to be, there's someone who would love to be in the position that you're in now. There's someone who would love to be in the spot that you're in, because there's always someone worse. Always someone in a worse condition. And that is not to downplay, or that is not to, but there's always someone in a worse position. So someone would love to be in the position that you're in now. You are valuable. You have something to give. You have something to offer. You have something to contribute to people, places, and things. You have something to contribute to humanity. You have something to contribute to culture. You have something to contribute to society. You have something to contribute. You have value. And so starting Thursday, I'm going to start to unpack this idea and concept of value, because I'm telling you, there's so many of us that need to understand and need to realize our value. When we understand our value, it literally will change your life, because now you're not just going to take and settle for whatever people gives you. You'll be able to negotiate, because you're going to understand when you understand your value, it puts you in a position where you can now negotiate. You don't just take what people give you. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blessing. I'm telling you, it is going to be a blessing. And so I'm excited about it. It is going to be good. I've spent a lot of time leaning into it, a lot of time researching and looking at it, turning it like a prism and seeing it from different vantage points. And I know it's going to be a blessing. And so that's my live. I just wanted to come on and do a check to make sure that lights, camera, and action was working. I think everything looked good. I think you all can hear me. I even have a mic that I'm going to attach for the next one. Thank you for sharing these truths. We all go through. Much love, hugs, friend. Thank you so much, Marcy. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I know my energy might be a little low. Might have my bedroom voice on a little bit, but that's because I've been up since 4:45 in the morning, and so I'm coming down. Okay, but so this Thursday I'm gonna be going live every Tuesday night for Tuesday Night Navigation. What's going on, Marianne? How are you? Oh man, how are you? And so I'm just wrapping up. I was just doing a little testing the live. I'm going to be going live now on Tuesday nights for Tuesday nights for Tuesday Night Navigation. And I'm going to be looking forward to the teaching on value. Oh, Fern, it's going to bless you. It is going to bless you, because it has been a blessing to me. And Billy, absolutely, listen, I can't wait to share with you all. It's so good to see you in here. Yes, I'm here. I'm back on the Talking Head journey. So when you scroll Facebook, you're gonna see me as a talking head too. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm gonna go live on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock for Tuesday Night Navigation, and then Thursday I'm going to be releasing the series on Thursday. And so it's a 5-part series, so it'll go for 5 weeks. And I'm excited to share with you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And so that's it. Listen, I'm going to sign off here because I will ramble on and on and on. And I really need to kind of prepare myself to go to bed because I got to be up early to get my run in. So I love you all so much. Thank you all for being on here. Some of you were here from the beginning. Some of you are just coming on. It just warms my heart just to see, you all join the live. And I'm getting back into this rhythm and this groove. So be patient with me. I mean, y'all have been patient with me for so long. And I'm back. So get ready to be inundated. Get ready. Get ready. Oh, I'm not saying get ready, get ready, get ready. But I'm saying prepare yourself because Tuesday Night Navigation is back. And I can't wait to do life with you. Love you all. Peace. Now, this is the awkward moment where I have to figure out how to end this. So, I'm just going to smile while I figure. Have a good night, y'all.